He ain't your prophet. Take one look in his closet, and skeletons scattered all over the floor, like a Jackson Pollock. Friends with the devil you know, the devil you don't is on his payroll, and all of his sadistic sycophants, ignorant hypocrites, mumbling gibberish like his own perspective is bigoted. Mix the condescension with some ignorance. Thoughts and prayers for the innocent. That's the best that you can do. No king, no God, just flesh and blood. Not heathens lost, and no man's above. No king, no God, not one size. You all belong. Crown comes on when your kingdom's gone.
Speaking of King Trump, I said this is likely going to happen, and sure enough, it looks like it's happening. He's going to take Maduro out. He wants that oil. That's simply the way it is. To our next topic, which is one that I got asked questions about, this James Wynn being liquidated. And wasn't he liquidated and lost all his money months ago? I don't get that. But there are so many online like this, I lost everything, do not trade, that I read in forums and stuff. I got liquidated Friday. I told you, that's what happens to leveraged people, trading with leverage. This is what happens to them. It's been an honor to lose all my money with you. Oh, yeah, okay. Why not just learn to trade? Here, I lost 50K out of 70. I'll probably lose the next 20 in the next week, so don't worry. Hey, you don't have to be humble to the market. The market will humble you, especially if you believe things that just aren't true. So I feel sorry for the guy if he really did lose all his money, but I don't know what to say. Stay away from leverage is the only thing that I've gone on about. Don't chase the dragon. You remember that old video from 2018, I think? What pattern is this? You'd give $1 million if you can tell what this pattern is. I can tell you what pattern this is. It's the James got liquidated pattern. I freaking love that post. Anyway, here, if you want to listen to him, supposedly this is him, here you go. This is typical of what happens to 90-something, I would say probably 98 or more % of traders. They lose their money and they get liquidated when they use leverage. I explained this in the last video, but here I'm going to re-harp on this. And you could listen to this. Is this the real guy? I don't know. I don't care. But it's kind of sad to have to hear this. Listen to this.
My place I stay at, couch surfing, like where you can just pay a little bit of money to stay in someone's house, whatever. As long as I've got a roof over my head, and don't want to be out in the cold. It's the perpetual game it's ruined me. I've lost everything.
Bro, I've sent some BTC on your old
place I stay at.
So I don't know if that's real or not. I don't care. But don't PM me anymore about this guy. He's a leverage trader. This is what happens to most leverage traders. If he had at least technical knowledge or skill about charts, he would have never gotten liquidated where he did. It's just, I don't know what to say. It's like bizarrely uneducated trading, like the worst trading ever, to get liquidated in the ranges. So it sounds like it's complete bullshit. So don't put much into this other than the entertainment value. That's the only thing, Schadenfreude. Nothing beyond that. That's all I can say. Trading should not have any feeling to it. When you see posts like this, you feel bad, but trading shouldn't be emotional. And, it's just money. But, it's stay away from leverage is the only thing I can say. Now, something more positive and interesting that you should be focusing on is the macroeconomics, the liquidity. This chart, outside of the BlackRock suppression, this chart is very important. And the M2 global liquidity I've shown in the past keeps going up. And at some point, Bitcoin is going to join that. And this is very important macro-wise. And this is why you'll see in the charts the importance of this, as well as what you have right here, which you have about $7.4.5 trillion on the sidelines that are waiting to go into the market as interest rates go lower, because they're in money market funds mostly right now. What you're going to see in this video is it's going to tie in with this right here and the chart pattern that I pointed out and have been going on about. And yeah, I can go over and claim victory because of the great trade that I made here, and I gave you guys ahead of time, and all the dynamics behind it. But it's just part of the chart, and there's no point. I do this live over and over and over and over again, and you make the right trades. There's no emotion. There's no feeling. You see things with a clear mind. That's what's important. And humble yourself to the charts, because the charts don't care. They don't care. It's just numbers. And paying attention and clearing your mind and letting yourself see things, the truth of what's there, that's what's important. Don't chase the dragon. Don't use leverage. And you won't get smoked. It's basically the only way to put it. Anyway, enjoy this week's video, and here we go. So there's not going to be much to this video. It's very straightforward. You see the pattern that I'm looking at. You saw the pattern that I pointed out from last week for those who wanted a trade, I guess you can say, when it went down to the low 1,000 area here under 105. Let me pull up the chart that represents this a little bit better. Here we go. Okay. And you've seen the reaction of the moves when it hit this area down here, great long, and it ran all the way back up to its target. Oops. If I can get this stupid, here we go. And it ran up to its target perfectly, and pulls back, and now is rebuilding. And what's it going to do? Well, it's likely going to break out. It has nothing to do with any of this, except for this was a high-end support. I mean, a strong support. I mean, I'm tapped out as far as my brain power for trading this. I have to trade what's there. This was a great trade. But honestly, I don't really have anything to do but to hold long from all of this and look at the bigger patterns, because they're going to come into play at some point. Now, of course, I can't predict the future, but I pointed this out to you, and this is what I'm really focused on. If this, from a measured move perspective, this is going to send us up to around that 150K level, just off of the broadening wedge that we have. Now, you could go over and put this in different lines. You can draw it from here. I have seen some people do that. That's not incorrect. That's one way of looking at it. I've seen some people go over and connect it from like this. It does not matter, honestly. What matters is the overall geometry and what it encompasses. That's what I go off of. That's why I use this over here, because this is more, to me, more accurate. I want to grab as many of these bottoms lines down here that connect and stay within the bounds of the pattern. That's what I'm mainly focused on, just like the tops right here connecting. And that's the geometry that's in place. Now, these all work out, these patterns all work out to be like 5, 6 in their counts. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you get what I call the drift. This is the important part, because this is where the actual breakouts occur from. And the drift will be the volatility. It'll expand and will be the volatility before you get the overall move. Now, in my opinion, this is a continuation move. We broke this level 3 times. Remember what I told you about the 200% level? That's very important. We broke that level 3 times. Okay? So that's where we are with that. And 3 times. So the next move that breaks above these levels over here in the mid to low 20,000 range are going to be where we get the move to above 150. That's just what's in the chart. And I've showed you this before in the past, and I progressed. I showed you all of this. And going out through the history, this kind of has been pretty close to perfect as you can get technically. Technically, this market is just, ready to go. And I put in the bull market time like I did with silver back in the day. If you remember silver, for those who remember when it was down hit this target down here in the low 20s and did this fast move down here, this was where it turned over to the bull market. And that was so perfect, and it took a very long time to go through all the machinations of all the different setups and moves and consolidate, and before it finally had the bigger breakout to where we are now, where it went up to 52. And of course, this area right here is going to pull it back some. Like I said, how far it will and how long it'll last, I don't know. I don't think maybe it'll last that long. I think it could keep going up. It has no real divergence here. So people are like, oh, it pulled back, whatever. It still has more upside, in my opinion. So, but anyway, this is what Bitcoin represents. And, just the measured move off of this pattern that puts us back into the 150K range. Or we can go higher. As I pointed out, the M2, the money supply, that's very important. And the Black Rocks could go over and try to tamp down prices and use Binance to try to keep the prices low so they can accumulate. But that game's going to, come to an end at some point. Nation states are going to see, that they have to get into this, and fund companies and banks and everybody. It's the future. And they're going to see that they can't be late to the game, and they're going to start sucking out the supply. That's just a matter of time. That's going to come. That's going to happen. And the big question is really, after we hit this target, do we go higher? Do we go up to targets that, go much higher than there? Are they able to keep it, under this area and not have it break out for the next few months to try to break the cycle? Because that's what BlackRock wants to do, so they can have their accumulation, increase their assets under management at the lowest prices possible. I think that the technicals are all right here, and we're good to go. So I'm looking for the breakout to the upside. That's it. That's basically my whole, nothing to do here. I've traded this way too many times off of all the shenanigans of Trump. All the hedges that I've had have all been due to him and the crap he's pulling with the tariffs. And oh my God, us as Americans, we're just tired of this guy. He is very corrupt. I don't disagree with the Democrats, but at the same time, they're very corrupt too, and they're basically central bankers, stooges, And the American people aren't stupid. They know that the Democrats are just as bad as the Republicans. It's a crazy world we live in right now. Unfortunately, we can't find any sane people anywhere. Anywhere. Literally almost like anywhere. But everybody has their problems, I guess. Not really interested in any of that anymore. What's the point? I've seen so many things that have just defy logic and common sense from both sides, and it doesn't matter. Honestly, it's sad because these are the people that are in power, and they really do not deserve to be, because they're fucking morons. They're just fucking stupid. Why do they have to be so goddamn stupid? Across the board. Well, unfortunately, I'm starting to think that the average American is stupid. And considering that 70% of the people in the United States are obese, that kind of makes sense. Back when I was growing up as a kid in the 70s, there weren't as many fat people. Sure, you had some, but in general, people actually, they didn't eat like they do now, and they're not lazy and playing video games and all kinds of garbage. But anyway, I'm just gonna rant. Anyway, so this is what we're looking at. I'm looking for the breakout. There's literally nothing to do. It's just the wait. I think it's coming. It's in the drift period. It's got the geometry. Everything, it's perfectly fit, you know. Now all it needs to do is break out. Once it takes out this level, it's going straight to here and above. That will be very interesting. And nobody is expecting it, luckily. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed it. Oh, one last thing, Metaplanet. Nothing to do. It's just, holding. Bye. Nothing to say, nothing to do. And, yeah, I don't think I need to go on about any of the other ones. Looking for upside breakouts. Here we go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Iluma. English. I love you.